the meeting that President Biden had with Russian President Vladimir Putin went, I think, as well as President Biden could have hoped for. And I say that as somebody who was skeptical of the fact that the president had offered Putin this summit. I didn't see what he was really going to gain from it. And, Putin continues to be aggressive and pursue an anti-Western policy. So I was surprised Biden offered it, but turns out he knew what he was doing, because he did extremely well in terms of, especially in terms of delivering a message to Putin that if Russia continues to mess around in the United States, election interference or hacking of businesses and infrastructure, that the United States will respond. I don't think there were any big surprises in the meeting. We knew going in that the two leaders were going to announce the launch of strategic stability talks, that it's in the interest of both countries that they engage on issues related to arms control in particular, and trying to limit the dangers of a nuclear arms race. The return of the ambassadors to each capital was something that seems relatively straightforward, and I think nobody was expecting a bromance. Nobody was expecting that these two leaders were going to decide they should go on a fishing trip together to get to know one another better. I mean, they are dealing with each other as in a business-like fashion, representing the interests of their country. I think that's where we're going to be for some time to come. The challenge for President Biden, who's looking for a stable and predictable relationship with Russia, is that if you want stable and predictable, the other side has to want stable and predictable as well. I'm still not sure that really works for Putin, but he's made very clear his focus is China. The competition with China, he doesn't want to be distracted from it. Previous presidents have also said that they wanted to rebalance toward Asia. They've gotten distracted by other things. He's clearly focused. And so what did he want to do? He wanted to go to Europe and show that the US and its allies there are united and are strong together, and then wanted to go meet with Putin and try to make sure that the situation with Russia is not going to escalate to a bigger crisis, that he can keep it relatively on a low boil. And I think for him, that was a success, so that he can really pivot to the China challenge and focus on China, having done what he set out to do on this trip. The previous four presidents had high hopes for what they could accomplish with Russia. They each ended their presidencies disappointed with the way things stood at that time. And I suppose there's an advantage to starting off without high expectations. You don't have any hopes to be dashed. You can't be disappointed because you're already expecting very little. What happens with the next incident? What happens when the Russians do something in the United States again, when there's a hack or continued disinformation, whatever Russian behavior is in advance of the midterm elections in 2022. I mean, these are all open questions, and then how the U.S. responds. So, but I think the key thing is just having realistic expectations, and that really is probably the most important thing that Biden and his team bring to this.